Hi everyone, this is Nia Handcrafted. I'm a candle maker and soap maker, lotion and potion maker by moonlight. Right now it's not moonlight outside, as you can see. I'm in my car. I'm on my lunch break at work, so not making anything. Been planning to do some videos about markets and how we get into markets, set up for our markets, because we have been reached out a lot by people on Instagram in the community that we may or may not know, by friends and family members, or friends and family members of friends and family members that are starting to get into markets. And it's that season coming up. It's currently the end of August, coming into September. A lot of the big holiday markets are asking for vendor applications. It is that time, and it is the time that people really are thinking about their community and in a giving mode, and I think more likely to support a small business like ours and look and actually seek out local artisans. So it's kind of coming out in reverse order. I wanted to do a kind of how to get into markets and how you can find markets. I have done a live on that, which is available on our Instagram at NIYYAH.handcrafted is our handle over there. So normally we do a lot of outside markets, particularly in the summertime in Portland. People don't want to be inside, especially if the weather is nice. Recently we've had some days that have been over 100 degrees where nobody comes to your markets. So this market was a nice change of pace. But if you're looking at an indoor market, there's some obvious pros: that it's inside, your stuff is not exposed to the elements, you are not exposed to the elements. We were in a lovely air-conditioned space, which worked out great. The cons are maybe not as much foot traffic, as a bunch of tents outside that have big wide tops that people can obviously see. Another con for this one, what I thought potentially, was that it was a market that you had to pay to get into because there was live music and other things happening. And so I was a little nervous going into this market. As far as like, was I gonna sell okay that night, just knowing that it had a $10 cover charge to get in, and it was also 21 plus, so that might have eliminated some families that that might have wanted to come. All in all, I had a good time at the event. I'm gonna show you from my garage how I moved everything that I wanted to take. I do soaps, candles, body butters, balms, and salves. I have a 10 by 10 space. I'm taking 3 tables, and then I can set up all my different stuff on different tables and have different themes. But at this one, I put 2 tables up, you know, in an L shape, so that I have 6 foot on one side and then 4 feet on the other, and then a little bit of a wrapping station. So that's how I did that. I'd love to take you along and show you what I'm bringing, how I packed up the car, and how I set everything up. And at the end of the video, I'm going to come back on and tell you how we did at the end of the night, and then the plans for the next video. So we'll go downstairs into the past and show you how we did it. Okay, this is my Subaru Outback. I'm gonna put the seats down. One of the reasons I like this is it just pops down like that, pretty easy. These bins I get at Costco. They lock in place, so they're really good to use, and I line them with a fresh paper every time that I use them. With it being hot in summer, with moving a lot of stuff around, the soaps can get smudged, so I'm using this clean paper. I got a bunch of these tile papers from FreeCycle. I have a couple of kinds of bins. So I have these. I don't remember where I got them, but they don't lock in place. And as you can imagine, they have spilled their contents everywhere. So now I just take those whole bins and I put them inside the box. And if I have to leave something outside, then I'll do the ones that latch close, which I don't have to worry about spilling everything. Took 2 of those boxes, so I wanted a good collection. I made my vegan soaps. I had some goat's milk soaps. I have mostly natural colorants, but I also wanted to make sure I had embed soaps and some bright ones, as well as some floral and gemstone ones, which you'll see in the next box, as well as a soap that I made with an embed especially for this market, with a wolf howling at the moon. I use Canva and Flowcode to make these signs, which I like to have on every table. I had to reprint some of these because this was a free event, and so I charge a little bit less for the free events than the ones that have vendor fees that are, say, higher than $50 a show. And if it's higher than that, then I use my website price so that I can recover some of the vendor fees. I had to pre-print out some labels because as the soaps kind of sit in the bins, they get dinged up. The cardstock especially gets really smudgy. The vellum is something new that I've been trying out. That's been working out better. So this is one of those giant, I guess, Rubbermaid brand totes, and I always tell myself I'm going to empty them out and organize them after a market. It never happens. So now I'm just going to take out the stuff that I need, like the bags. I'm not taking the body butters in that box, and that's also a good example of something that you want contained and not loose. Okay, we're at the feel good part. Get the stuff in the bin, the scrubs, my intention candles, and packing up the last of the soaps here. Just sneaking Artemis in there. I almost can't believe that I might get all of this into just a couple bins, but we'll see. This is not my favorite setup for my lip balms. I'm gonna figure out how to change it up. Maybe cover this with some fabric. I just used duct tape. I did not do a very good job. Little accessories, but sometimes for night events, I add a little bling. This is my silver kind of stuff bin that has a bungee cord, and if we look at the top, we have my signage there. I have a Venmo. You can get that free if you have a business account, and I always take, this is called jute. It's like a really thin rope or twine, and even if I don't use it, almost at every market, there's somebody that asks me for it, so I buy it a lot, and I just always make sure that I have it. And there's some nice flat paper towels, as you can see. Those always come in handy for little spills. I take that and I take some isopropyl alcohol because sometimes soaps will smear, or people that are trying on lotion touch stuff and you just want to get it nice and clean up. It's always helpful to have that, especially if you're going to markets with kids. These chalkboard tags or little blank signs are really good to have on hand. I don't use them frequently, but sometimes I'll decide to have like a last minute sale. That's helpful. There's my isopropyl alcohol and always a pair of scissors, a couple of Sharpies. So I use these little sleeves. These were gifted from someone on Free Cycle. I'm going to say it over and over again until I am blue in the face, and I will be screaming it from my coffin too. Check out Free Cycle, check out Buy Nothing groups. I mean, there's competition. You're not sure if it's going to be there, but I mean, I'd have to buy these from Uline, and I got so many from the lady that is doing it that I'm a year into business and I'm still just running down. I'm getting down to my last ones, then I have to make a decision if I want boxes or something, but they can be recycled. They have been recycled, so check it out. This is art paper from my kids' easel that they don't use anymore, so I'm using it as packing paper until it's gone. So for things like my body butters, which are in glass containers, or my candle jars, I'll use that till it's gone. These are the photo frames from the Dollar Tree that I use for my signage. I'm just going to put the new signs in there. Like I said, I'm not taking my beard oil today, so I'll just get that sign out of there and use this for my other price list. I'm inside. I don't need a fan. As I said, I'm not taking my beard oil. I have these signs that I got from a thrift store, and I keep them in there and decide to use them if I have space on the table. And this is one thing that I bought new. I was really happy to buy this. It adds a lot of character to my table. It's by a local woman maker who hand burned it, and I put a leaf garland with it. The logo that you see on this bag is the closest thing that I have to like an official logo. I just print stickers and paste them on the bag, and I have other variations of it depending on what stickers I have on hand. And I'm just using that until I get my real logo design, which is in progress. Okay, so the bag's there. I need these for sure. I don't know that I need this little shirt. I sometimes put mermaids on that, so I'll leave that one. I'm going to focus on those more than the Happy Scrappy Unicorn soap, so I'm going to keep that one there just in case. Okay, so this can keep these. I try to utilize my space. My scissors, paper towels. I have not yet figured out how to work this signage when I'm inside and on the table, so I'm going to try it today. I'm actually kind of amazed as I'm getting all these bins loaded up that I might actually not have anything loose, that everything might fit in these crates in the trunk. These tables are from Costco. They are perfect for me because they are 4 feet by 2 feet, so I can use them in a number of sizes, and they have a handle. This dolly folds flat and was gifted, and this is my tall IKEA chair that was thrifted. Okay, at this point, I kind of have it down to a science. I put the tables on one side, and then I just start sliding the bins all the way up until everything is packed away. This part really takes me only about 5 minutes, and I can do it all by myself. Before I even take off, I ask myself, do I have my square? Do I have my tablecloths? Do I have my cash, Venmo, and signage? I know I got my product, or at least enough back there that I can sell. But the things that will make or break your night, you need to make sure that you have it. So here we go. So I'm unloaded. I'm a little glowy from that. And, you know, I didn't need to use my dolly, but there were stairs. And so lugging like, I don't know, 85 pounds maybe for the trunk upstairs. You got to have some oomph to you. And I have a broken foot and a boot on. So I'm a little clunky right now, but I did it. And then I found parking a block away. So alhamdulillah, thank God, I am really grateful that there was parking here for me. And it also is going to make loading in easier if I need to just grab the dolly to get out, because the parking lot's going to be crazy later. There's a good vibe in there. There are musicians setting up. And so when there's musicians setting up, I kind of feel like I'm part of the band. Like I'm really groovy. I'm doing a market without my kids, which is always really fun. There's a candle on the floor. And I'm going to go set it up and take you along with me. It's kind of overcast, which makes the day really awesome. I'm not a summer fan. I like that it's warm and not raining all the time. However, my tolerance is 85 degrees Fahrenheit. I used an L shape for my 4x2 tables. I'm really excited that I'm on a corner, so I get a little bit more space to display my stuff. We're not allowed to hang stuff up on the wall, so I'm unsure how to do this signage, but I'll come back to it. In case you're wondering why I hate this display, there's lip balm everywhere. First thing that I do is try and get all the big displays and signage up and then work around that. I hide some soap sleeves here to make it easy to grab. I have noticed people can be shy about asking to smell things, so I just leave the lid off so people can go ahead and try them out. This is about 15 minutes of work. I usually pick what I'm going to put as my focus, so I put the candles as my main display and the soaps on the other side. I'm pushing this under the table. This is like a lot of the display cases, so I'm not going to need this again. And I just popped some of the bags and packaging like that right on top of that. Easily accessible, so I can use the rest of the table. I did forget some of my risers. Normally I like to have a little bit more height, but we're all set up with the soaps and candles and ready to go. We are all set up at the market. There's this like weird spot where people start filing in and you're just like, because this is a paid event. Are people gonna come? Are people gonna stop by your table? I have gone around and looked at everybody's art and introduced myself. Always do that. I think that finding a vend friend is really nice. My husband calls them, like in Fight Club, how they had the single serving friends. It's kind of true, although I'm starting to get to a part in the local market career where I start to know many of them. So yeah. So that's how we set up the 6 foot by 6 foot indoor space. I hope that you found that helpful in kind of looking through how we might set up a space. I look forward to doing another video where we set up an outdoor space and you can see everything that we needed to bring, all the differences and considerations that we have. I always say that you learn something new at every market. Some of the things that I learned were, number one, it was super nice to just take a limited amount of stuff, and I don't think it impacted sales at all. The second thing that I learned is I sell a soap that's made from aloe and avocado, and I labeled it initially when I made it for a gift set that I sell in the winter time. And I put that it's a vegan soap because it went in the vegan gift set. And a person came to the table and asked if that was the only vegan soap that we had. And that was a really good lesson for me, because if you're labeling one thing as vegan, then it looks like everything else is not, where probably 90% of the soaps that I sell are vegan. So now I know I need to either rethink my signage or rethink my labeling. So no matter how many I do, I always learn something. There's an opportunity to grow at every market, whether it's wildly successful or not. This one, I would consider it a success. We ended up bringing in about $300 after fees, and of course 10% of our profits always go to charity. This month we're benefiting a local medical organization called Outside In. Next month it'll be something different, but I look forward to letting you know how the next ones go. Mid-September I have an outside market, which I will let you know for. So the next video that you can look forward to is talking about finding farmers markets applications and all of the struggles and successes that we've had thus far. So thanks for tuning in if you've made it this far, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Please don't forget to leave a comment below with any questions that you have or suggestions for future topics. Thanks.